Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in last video we saw about the for loop and we discussed about the three parameters in the range function, that is the start value, the stop value and the step value. So in this video I will talk about functions in Python. So functions are defined in Python with the help of def keyword. The keyword is def. So if we want to define a function called hello world, what we will do is we will use def keyword, then type hello world and give open and close parenthesis. So this is how we create a function. So we will write this hello world function to print hello world on the console. So you can see here we have defined a function. The function name is hello world and we have included the parenthesis, and then after this colon whatever goes after this colon, that should be indented with 4 spaces or a tab. That is the block of the code that we can use it inside the function. So this print statement is only one statement in our case, but we can add multiple statements that we will see in further slides. So this print statement will be executed whenever this hello world function will be called. So in order to execute the function, we need to call the function. So this is how we call the function. We type the name of the function followed by the parenthesis. So this is how the function is called. Now this is not the best example of a function. I wrote this example just to show you how to create a function in Python. So a function is a reusable block of code. That means we can use the block of code in different sections of our Python script as we want it. Like if I give a example of Python, a Python function like a factorial of a number. So a factorial of a number can be we can pass any number as the parameter in a function, and it will give the factorial of the number. So this is what we will see in the next slide. So let's jump to the next slide. So this is a slightly better example that have some mathematical computation, and in this function we are taking n as the parameter. As you can see, factorial is taking the function factorial is taking n as the parameter. So if n is equal to 1 or 0, the function will print 1. Else if it is not 1 or 0, then function will use this for loop to calculate the factorial of the number, and it will print the factorial. So here we can see that this function is dynamic and it can accept any value as the parameter. So we can pass 5 here or 100 here, it will work fine for any values. So this is called code reusability. So we actually define function for reusing a piece of code. So if we don't define a function, then we have to write this code every time in our Python script whenever we want to calculate the factorial of a number. But if we define this if we define this inside a function, we can use this code many times without even writing it. Just we have to call the function with the function name and pass our parameter. At what time? At any time we can pass any parameter and we can run this function with any value. So this is a better example of a function. So let's just see some more examples. So here I have basically written the same factorial method, but instead of printing directly into the console, we can use the function to return the statement to the portion of the code where it is calling the function. Like if I am calling the function in a certain section of my code, the function will return the output and store it in the result. So for this we have to pass the parameter, then we have to declare a variable that will store the output that is returned from the function. So either it will return 1 or output, the value in the output will be returned, and it will be stored in result of 5. So factorial of 5 is 120, so 120 will be stored here, and the factorial of 1 is 1, so it will be stored here. So if we want to store the variable instead of printing, then we can use the return keyword. So this is the difference between printing and returning. So returning allows us to store the variable if we want to print it later, after doing some more calculations or anything else if we want to do. So next we come to variable scoping. There are many rules of variable scoping in Python. So variables are defined in local scope, cannot be accessed globally. Suppose variables that are defined within a function that are called local variables, that cannot be called outside the function, but variables that are defined in global scope that can be accessed by the functions. Suppose a local variable tries to access a global variable, it can access that. Like here I have done, name is a global variable, and here I am accessing the name inside a function. We can do this thing. It is perfectly okay to access this. But if we want to access a local variable from outside the function, we cannot do that. It will give an error. So this is the difference between local and global scope. Next is, if we can define a variable with same name in different scopes in a Python script. So if we are declaring a variable in a Python script in global scope with same name as the variable inside a function, the function will always accept the local scope. The function will give preference to the local scope rather than the global scope. Suppose I have written a similar variable name, like I have given my name in a variable called name, and I have stored the value of my name there, and I have assigned a different value inside a function. Then the function will accept the different value that I assigned inside that, instead of accessing my name that is defined in the global scope. And one more thing, when a function completes execution, all the values and scopes that are created inside it are also get destroyed. So let's see with some examples. So here I have defined my name in global scope here, as you can see, but here I have changed my name. Actually I have defined a local variable with name John, and I have printed the name. So it will always print John rather than Shubham, because it will give preference to the local variable rather than the global variable. So now if we want to call one function inside another function, that is also perfectly fine in Python. So this is the name1 function. Here I have given a name, my name actually, and here I have called name2 function inside the name1 function. So name2 function also has same name as the name1 function, but the value of the name2 function is different, it is John. So what do you think, what is the output of this? If I print this name, what is the output? The output of this will always be Shubham, because the scope, as I discussed earlier, the scope and all its local variables are initialized and destroyed after calling the function. So this name is a local variable, so it is created and destroyed inside this, but this value is never getting destroyed as it is inside the name1 function, but the value inside name2 function already got destroyed after declaring this. It got initialized, it assigned a value to John, and then it got destroyed. So the value that will be printed, that is my name, Shubham. So this is all what I wanted to share. Now we will take a look on some of the examples. So here, as you can see, I have defined a Python script called as 03-python.py, and I have written the hello world program that I showed to you in the final in the first slide. So I am calling this hello world function here by this line only. So this line will execute the contents of the hello world function. So if I now execute this code by typing Python, then give the name of the script, we will see hello world is printed. Let me pull this up a little bit. Okay, now you can see that hello world is printed. This is actually this line is line number 6 is actually calling the hello world function, which is printing this value. So let's comment this example and go to example 2. So in this example I have shown how to calculate the factorial of a number. So let's see. Yes, it looks fine. So here I am calling this factorial function with 5 and 1. It should give 120 as the first output, because factorial of 5 is 120 and factorial of 1 is 1. So let's save the file and run. See, the output is 120 and 1. Now let's comment this function, this block of code. Sorry, it is I need more space here. Okay, so here let's comment this block of code and see example number 3. So in example number 3, instead of printing, we are returning the value like I have shown you in the slides. So this is the local variable, the output that is created in local scope. Local scope means that is created inside function factorial, and it will get destroyed as soon as the execution of the function ends. So it will calculate all the values here. It will check here if n is equal to 1 or 0. If it is 1 or 0, it will print 1, else it will calculate the output and it will store the output here in result of 5. Result of 5 will be 120 and result of 1 will be 1. So here I am not printing the output, I am just storing the output here. If I want to print the output, I can uncomment this line and I can print the variables here. These variables actually consist of the output that is returned by this function. So here, as you can see, we have used the return keyword. So this return keyword is returning the value to this variable, these two variables, when these two functions are called. So this first call of factorial will return 120. As we have passed 5 here, it will go to n, and n will be equal to 5, and it will calculate the factorial and will return 120, and the second will be 1. So n is equal to 1, then it will then it is satisfying this condition, the if statement, and it will return 1. So this is how it works. So let me check if I have commented the other codes or not. Yes. So let me save the file and execute this code, and let's see. Yes, we can see the same result, 120 and 1. Yes, this is actually the result, last one, the 120 and 1. So our next example is about variable scoping. Before proceeding, let me comment out this part. So here I will tell you about variable scoping. So here, as you can see, inside the script directly I have defined a variable name called as name, and I have assigned it to my name, and inside function I am calling another name. I am defining a local variable with a and passing a variable John. So this is the local variable and this is the global variable. So function will always prefer local variable rather than global one. So if I call variable name, it will always print John. Let's see by running this code. See, it printed John. So I think you have understood the concept of local and global variables. So let's move on to the next example. So in the next example, I have shown variable scoping by calling a function within another function, just as you saw in the slides. So here I am, this is a local variable to this function, and this is also a local variable to the second function. So I am calling the second function in the first function. So what it will do is, this local variable will be created and will be destroyed after this function call. Then there is no existence of this value. So it will always print my name when I will execute this print statement. So when I will execute name1, it will always print my name. Let's execute and see. See, my name is executed here rather than the local variable in the other functions, that is John. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys. So if you are not following this series from the beginning, I highly recommend you to check the I button that I have linked in the top of this video, so that you can follow this series from the beginning. So if you are a complete beginner in Python, this series will definitely help you. So if you got some help from this video, please consider subscribing, and please like, share and support my channel to see more such videos of this kind. So that's all guys for today. Bye, have a nice day.